aspire to attain the purpose of being holy in order to attach to the divine. But each person according to his or her level or his or her ability, right? It's not cookie cutters. It's not one specific way that goes for everybody.
אלוהי, נשמה שנתת בי, טהורה.
So good morning to the viewers out there on YouTube and on Facebook. Oh, we have Leah Fry, Rabbina from Germany. Hi, how are you? Good morning. This is great. For those of you who have the text, have the Slonimer Netivot Shalom. I'm going to show you the text here. I'll let you know in a moment which page we're on. We're in the volume of Vayikra, Leviticus, on page Pei Vav, and it's section Gimel. So, Muhammad Hussein just joined us. Muhammad, Ramadan Mubarak. He's a Muslim friend from Queens. Okay, Jack.
Well,
people are joining us. So we're on page Pei Vav, section Gimel, and we're gonna look at beautiful teaching today about holiness, about Kedoshim, and what does it mean? What's involved in being holy, living a holy life? I mean, what's the deeper? The Slonimer is going to go into the deeper sort of like shades of color of that. I mean, everybody, has a sense of what does it mean to be holy, right? I mean, I know that when I have been in a situation that felt holy, I go into a building like a shul that feels holy, or I meet a person who's a great teacher, feels holy. So we know what that is. But what does the Torah exactly mean? And the Slonimer here is going to go there. You want to add anything about that, Rebelli?
yeah, well, it's a big question because this week's part of the second parsha of the double parsha, Kedoshim, Tihyu, it's a mandate. It's like a commandment.
Right.
You shall be holy. So even setting aside what this holiness is, we have a complete Torah. In the Torah, we are told, we're given rules.
Yeah.
613 rules, things to do and things not to do. Now, if someone hands me the book of the rules and I follow the book of rules,
yeah,
the Mamela, automatically, I would think that now I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Right? I listen to the daily news conference. I hear what I'm allowed to do. I have to go to Mass. I follow the rules, so I should be holy.
And is that enough?
But it seems that you shall be holy is not included in the 613. It's something else. So this is what bothers everybody, that the Slonimer is going to deal with this issue, because what are you telling me to be? Yeah. You told me what to do, what not to do.
That's right. And here's the exception, right? So the Torah says be holy, but it doesn't say how. I mean, it does say how, but it doesn't give specific details of what it means by that, and that's not counted as one of the mitzvot. So let's jump right into the Slonimer here. And it's written in the holy book Shomer Emunim as follows: שאלו החפצים להיכנס לפנימיות עבודת השם לא ימושו מפיהם בית הפסוקים שבתורה. Those who want to go into the inside, the depth of divine service, should not let go of these two verses in the Torah. ועשית ישר וטוב בעיני אדוני. One verse is, and you should do what is good and what is straight in God's eyes. That's one pasuk. Another pasuk, one verse. Another verse is "V'kedoshim tihyu." This is from our parsha, and you shall be holy. Those two verses, and those two verses he will show us has a common theme, and we'll see what the common theme or sort of quality of those verses. And he explained his, what he means. Just like you said before, Rebelli, in the Torah, it tells us that there are instructions that are related to what not to do, and instructions that are related to what yes to do. And those is what we call the mitzvot. Whether if it's mitzvot that have to do between an individual and the divine, or whether it has to do mitzvot between an individual and another individual. Two categories. Either way. And these instructions in the Torah are very clear and they obligate. I mean, there's no, I guess what it means is there's no question here. It's not gray, it's clear. Do, don't do, the Torah tells us exactly what to do. But in addition to that, there is guidance about how to go deeper into the depths of divine service. That means to conduct oneself above and beyond the call of duty or the call of the law. And that is the first verse that he says that we should never forget. It's kind of like a mantra, right? It's kind of like you have to have that verse in there, sort of as a context, maybe as a backdrop, right? That's how I'm thinking about it. He's saying have the verse. The verse is not something to do, but the verse is sort of like in the background of what you're doing, right? And the verse says, and do the good and the straight in God's eyes. So what does that mean? That means that is telling you to go above and beyond the literal call of what the mitzvah is. שבכל מעשה שעושה יתבונן וישקול אם מעשה זה ישר בעיני השם וטוב בעיניו. Meaning that whenever you do anything, actually, I misspoke, I reduced it. He's not saying whenever you do a mitzvah. He says whenever you do anything you do in life, think to yourself, reflect whether what you're doing is good and straight in God's eyes. וכמאמר מרן הסבא הקדוש מסלונים, and this is his grandfather, right? I think. עמד כתב שאמר אהרון on a different verse in chapter 10 in the book of Vayikra, where Aaron speaks and says, ואכלתי חטאת היום הייטיב בעיני אדוני. This is after his sons are perish, and he and they didn't fulfill God's will, but it's not clear that they actually, this is a case in point, right? You want to say something about that?
Yeah, well, just very briefly, the Aaron Hakain, Aaron the priest, was supposed to bring a specific sacrifice on a specific day.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he was a mourner at that time, and it wasn't clear whether or not he or his two remaining living sons were supposed to offer this particular sacrifice or not. It was a very complicated issue. When Moses saw that he didn't eat it, he burned it. It was burnt. It wasn't eaten. He became angry, and the Slonimer is pointing out that when Aharon responded to Moshe, he didn't, and he was actually, what Aharon did was the correct halacha, was the correct ruling, but he didn't say, I did the correct ruling.
No.
He said, I did the right thing.
In God's eyes.
That was what was important to him, because whether or not it was the correct ruling was a little bit fuzzy, but Aharon was trying to make a point to Moshe, and what the Slonimer and Kedoshim is all about is, even in things that are permitted, are we doing it? Are we doing the right thing?
Right. Understood. And also it's the exact same language as in the pasuk. Vayishma Moshe v'itav Hayom heitiv b'nei Adonai, and that's the pasuk that Shomer Emunim was quoting to us is
right.
Shavatov b'nei Adonai. So the linguistic connection, it's right there, right? So this
yeah.
So ופירש שמשה שמע בזה מאהרון דרך חדשה בעבודת השם. So and Moses, and when Aaron says to Moses, did I do what's good in God's eyes? And Moses says, yes, you did, even though he thought it was halachically incorrect. So so what he's saying is that Moshe heard from Aaron that there was a new way of worshiping worshiping God, and he accepted it. This may not have been exactly, there's something new here, but yes, God approves. So Shelo Amar im ketorah asiti o kehalacha asiti, because as you just said, because Aaron did not say, did I do the right thing as it's written? Did I follow the written requirement? But did I do what God is pleased with? His only intent was whether this would be pleasing to God. And Moses heard something new in that and appreciated that. So we have the gushpanka, we have Moses' approval to this, is I think what is the point he's saying. וכמו שכתוב, הוא הפסוק השני, קדושים תהיו. And this leads to the second pasuk from Kedoshim, you shall be holy. This is instruction in the Torah, you shall be holy. שאין זו מצווה פרטית. But this is not a specific mitzvah for each individual person. But this is a general kind of designation that is for anybody, any Jew. Anybody who's Jewish, it's like a very general thing. It's kind of for the collective, right? You should be holy. Because the purpose of a Jew is, I shall be holy to Adonai our God. And what does this mean, says the Slonimer? That one needs to cleave to God. That's what he says here. And a person needs to know that with every act that they take, so the practical outcome of that is like with every act that one takes, that you and I take, you either become cleaving, attached to the divine, or you become distant from the divine. There's no other way. Right? Is what he's saying. Right.
So this is what the Ramban famously says on this word Kedoshim. He says, Kaddish esatzmecha v'mashem muter lach. So I can't make myself holy with things that I'm not allowed to do. There's no amount of blessings that I can make on a ham sandwich and bring out the holiness from that.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's a sandwich that is muter, is permitted to me, but I eat, I wolf it down in a half a second
Mm-hmm.
and I forget to make a blessing,
Right.
and I'm eating like a boorish individual, pressing away.
Yeah, without attention, without appreciation,
without mindfulness, without thinking about, without being thankful and grateful for a moment, and eating in a measured way. And I'm not saying, and I could say to myself, I'm eating to absorb the energy
mm-hmm.
with which I can serve the divine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just my eyes are, I'm just filling up my stomach.
Yeah.
So the Ramban says that's the Kedoshim.
Right.
That's where it fits in,
right.
Because I'm allowed to eat kosher food. I'm allowed.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's allowed, and then there's doing the yasher and the type.
That's right. So that's bringing another level really to it, and we're asked to do that, and in any given moment we have the choice, and it's a choice of attention really, of kind of remembering, right? It's not a choice of another thing to do, but it's a choice of attitude. Would you say, like,
yeah, making a conscious choice every moment of every day. That's the Kedoshim. That's why it's difficult.
That's right.
Because it takes a lot of consciousness.
That's right.
And awareness.
Yeah, it reminds me. There's a rabbi, actually one of the first rabbis that I started learning from many years ago. I remember sitting at dinner I had the privilege of sharing dinner with him and other people, and we all stuffed our plates with a lot of food, and he, for some reason, it was buffet, and everybody served themselves, right? So we went around and you filled the plate. And there were peas. I remember the only thing he took was peas, mashed potatoes, like green peas. There's mashed potatoes or whatever, fish, other things. It was kosher. It wasn't an issue of kosher. It wasn't whatever. There was food, and he put a lot of green peas. I don't know. He liked green peas, but he didn't take much of the other food. And then he was eating the green peas, and he said, "Oh, this is so good." And I remember noticing that that's all you're eating, but he was eating the peas, and he was saying, "Oh, it's really tasty. It's really so good." I think that was a moment of, it wasn't about the quantity; it was about the little bit, but really enjoying it and being there.
Right.
Just to give it a little bit more of illustrate it,
Mm-hmm.
All right, so. And that is why when this is mentioned in the Torah, the details of how to do it are not written. Because with all the prohibitions in the Torah, it says exactly how, what the parameters, what the details of what to do are. עריות נכללו כל האיסורים שגדרם שווה בכל. And for instance, in matters of intimacy and intimate relationships, it's very, very, very detailed about what is allowed and what's not allowed. So the rules of, for instance, intimate relations are the prohibitions are very clear, and it's the same for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are; everybody is obligated by that. The matter of holiness is not equal for everybody. This is spoken to all the people of Israel as a generality. Each person based on his or her level and his or her spiritual development. Mitzvah b'mitzvat Kedoshim Tihyu. The language is, it says, you shall be holy, all of you. That each person should aspire to attain the purpose of being holy in order to attach to the divine, but each person according to his or her level or his or her ability, right? It's not cookie cutters. It's not one specific way that goes for everybody. According to that benchmark, a person should evaluate every act that a person takes, whether this brings you closer to the purpose of being attached to the divine, or whether this, God forbid, or this, does this, God forbid, distance you from the divine. So what does that say about holiness or being holy that's different from a regular mitzvah or regular instruction?
So the solution seems to be that Kedoshim is an all-encompassing concept, which it has to do with how we are performing mitzvahs, how we are conducting ourselves, even in non-mitzvah but permitted situations, and it's a mindset. Really, Kedoshim is a mindset, and as the Slonimer concluded, what you just said, it's not. It has to be worked on, like exercised.
That's right.
If we don't exercise, if we don't practice it, it's not going to happen by itself. And everyone according to their individual challenges and kishoines, their potential and challenge. Everyone has different challenges in different areas. Some it's with food, some it's with the relationships that you were alluding to before.
Right.
And so the job, the avodah of Kedoshim seems to be that Hashem is saying, don't think I just gave you, like we started, don't think I just gave you a list of do's and don'ts. That's not what it's about.
That's right.
Those are the borders.
That's right.
But within those borders, you can still mess it up.
That's right.
Because there's something deeper. That's the chesanius. That's the superficial part of it, which you need. You need the glass to hold the juice.
Right.
But it's only the glass. Within there, you have to fill it up with the juice. The juice is the Kedoshim Tihyu.
I was just analyzing the parsha with a bar mitzvah student. He has to write a drasha, for his bar mitzvah, and we looked at a whole list of mitzvot. I mean, Kedoshim has all these mitzvot, and I asked him, why do you think these mitzvot are there? And when I asked that question, I ask it from an intellectual, from a heady kind of place, And this is a 13-year-old, and he didn't really care about analyzing why and what, and and he says it's just not right.
There you go.
And when I heard it, I felt like it was a rebuke. It's like the kids setting me straight. Because come on, in your heart it's not right. It's like it's not kadosh. It's just not kadosh. You can't cheat. You can't steal. It's just not right.
That's it.
And I love that answer. This is Kedoshim.
Right.
We know we have a compass inside us, and we know when it's not right. We know when we do something that is going to take us away from the divine, or we know when we do something that is going to bring us closer to the divine. And I think that the beauty here is that this is really our purpose. This is what life is all about. So, with that, we're going to conclude. I think this is a good. May we have, we're locked down at home, find a lot of good opportunities to be holy, make this work come closer. Amen. And hopefully we'll be going out sooner than later.
Amen.
Thank you, Rebelli. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for this little piece of Torah on this Wednesday. Wishing you all a good Shabbos. Stay optimistic, be well, be safe, be healthy. Shalom for now.